This is the 5th. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's the other point. Yes. We're going to be recording this, so if you don't want to be on it, just switch your camera off. We can still hear from you, or put your text in the bottom. So yeah, so basically, I think this is the 5th National Fiver Fest now, isn't it? It's the fifth one, yeah, because it's in the posters. That's what I remember. So this is the 5th one. We've had really, it's just got bigger and bigger. This time there's been less towns. We had 130 last time. We're up to 103 at the moment, and there's been a few fallout just from COVID, and we know that. It's very different this time, and people are a little bit nervous, but still, get 103 towns doing something across the country is just insane, really. One of the things, we keep getting asked the same questions over and over, so I'm just going to go through these, and then any questions that you've got, just put them at the end. So one of the key things you must do, and this is telling shopkeepers and businesses themselves, is like keep telling them on their social media, it's not just about them, it's about it's about everybody in the town working together, and it's about saying, I'm doing this, but have you seen this offer over here? And this is my favorite one, because it's all about creating this sense of community. So there's the business community, but also it's the shopper is included in that community as well, because this is all about connecting people and creating a bigger story than just one little shop trying to shout really loudly in a big crowded market space. And they're not going to be able to do it. But if the fact is that if everybody's shouting the same thing, which is why Fiver Fest works, the message gets across. But if you then are seeing that you're working together with everybody, it really, really enhances that message. And people really love that. The shoppers really do love that. They love to see the fact that their town is working together and their town is bringing that pride up. So the next one, so we've been asked quite a few times if businesses online that aren't on the high street can get involved in it. And this has been a bit of a one way or another, we weren't too sure, but in the end we've said yes, because they are contributing to the local economy. But we ask them, and we'll be putting a post up about this this week. If you're an online business and you're doing Fiver Fest, how about you pledge to spend any money that you get from that, you spend on your high street as well. So that's what we're going to go for. So we're going to write a little post about that, so you can share that. And that'll be across all the social media channels as well. And that shows the willing of supporting. And so you're not just taking, that you're actually supporting back into the high street and the bricks and mortars. So one of the things, and the reason behind all of this is that people will travel for an event or lots of different offers in one small place. So if you've got 20 offers going on, or some, I think we're up to 80 or something on one of the towns, that's worth a visit. Whereas if you're just like with one small shop, I'm sort of arming you with questions when you get asked the questions as well, almost, if you're as an organizer. But the idea of driving into town because one shop's got an offer on is probably not going to happen. But if 20 or 30 or 40 or even 60 have got offers on, that's worth visiting. And in the pack, we've got a big space that says offers around town. If you can manage to get everyone's listed on there as well, that'd be that really helps people to look at it and see what actually is available. So the other thing is, please say to people, this is not about shifting all your old stock and getting rid of stuff that you don't want to sell, that you've not managed to sell. This is about creating something really good and of really good value. So it's like an interaction. It's a chance to bring in new customers, chance to show the quality and the value of your local shops. It's not about saying, I've got to get rid of all this crap. And the thing that we noticed as well is quite often some people will, in the past particularly, not as much recently, but when towns used to do it individually, quite a few would say, well, I didn't sell anything, it was rubbish. And then we'd say, well, were there more people in your shop? Oh yeah, there was loads more. Was there more on the high street? Yeah, there was loads more. So maybe it was your offer that was wrong. Have you not thought of that? People came in your shop and didn't buy the things. So it's like trying to create something really, really of quality or of value. And there's been such an amazing stuff. One of the best has been an axe throwing course, which was good for £5, which that was one of the best ones. But as imaginative as possible is the thing. And then on social media, which Katie will go over to as well, the number one thing we're going to keep saying is please tag us in. Please tag in the hashtag Fiverfest and hashtag Totally Locally, as well as your own towns, because that will allow us to share more across our network as well. But I'm sort of treading on Katie's toes there. So I'll pass over to Katie now, and then we'll come back on to next, and then Julia as well. Okay. Right,
brilliant. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, as Chris said, tagging is one of the big things with us for social media. So we miss a lot because we can't be in everyone's social media accounts. So we miss quite a lot, and it's a real shame that we can't share it all. So we just ask that when you're tagging your friends and neighbours in the other businesses or town organisers or any other people in the town that are key, that you just tag us in. And what I'll do is in the doers group, I'll just put a reminder of what our tags are for Insta, Twitter and Facebook. They'll be the main ones that we're using. We have a LinkedIn which will share some of the key messages over, but the main ones for the Fiverfest are Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. And as Chris said, we're using the hashtags predominantly Fiverfest, but we will pick up the Totally Locally ones as well. As you can imagine, it gets very, very, very busy with Fiverfest, and we absolutely love it. If the whole of our Insta and Twitter and Facebook is just filled with those hashtags, because it just creates a great buzz around it, and it's a whole 2 weeks where you can just benefit from that great engagement that we get. One of the really lovely things that we love doing is sharing stories, and if you can tag us by our account into an Insta story, we can automatically share it, and I get alerted, and then I can do it really, really quickly. If you don't, I can't grab it, and what I do sometimes just take a screen grab of it and then re-share it. But it'd be really great if you could get us into those stories in your towns as well. We've got a Giphy account, so anywhere that you're using Giphy, just start typing Totally Locally or Fiverfest, and you'll see that we've got loads of the Totally Locally ones, but also we've got some specific Fiverfest ones as well. So we'd love to see you using those as well. And just be as social as possible, and just making sure to, as Chris said, to include all the other people that are doing Fiverfest in your town, even those that are not using social media, because it's just about in the town. We're massively social, and we just love sharing all those stories that you have. Press releases, if you've got press releases going on in the town, tag us into them, we'll pick those up as well. We noticed that loads of those have already been happening this week, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're loving reading those and finding out what everyone's doing in their towns. Sharing the lists of all the other businesses, that's another really good one. And we've got templates and images for those. Use any of our images that you've been sent in your packs. Download any of them that we're using on our social accounts if it makes it easier for you. Just download them and use whatever you can to get noticed, and we will try our very best to pick all that up and share what you're doing. Have I missed anything? Have I taken a breath? I'm going to ask Simon, have I missed anything? I think I've gone through everything in my list.
I don't think so.
We'll do a bit of a reminder, probably Thursday, Friday, while everyone's getting ready. But obviously the getting ready stuff is really exciting for us as well. So if you're getting your shop and your business ready, putting the bunting up, your posters, your banners, we want to see all of that. So please do share it with us. Thank you.
Thanks, Katie. I'd forgotten one thing actually. With Visa and Grayling doing the PR, they're after stories. They're after Fiverfest stories. They're after anything around any of the businesses. So Simon, we've got a link, haven't we? We could just drop into the chat at the end, or now, or whatever. So there's actually a form to fill in. So if you have any businesses that you think would be really worth featuring, Visa did they ended up with quite a few were on TV and radio. They were picked up by the press and national press as well. So it's really worth doing. And if you look on the Visa website under Where You Shop Matters, you'll see some of them have been on there. So if you just type in totally locally Where You Shop Matters Visa, you'll find them on there. So there's a few case studies on there. But what happens is if you submit if the shop submits something, Grayling will get in contact with them and they'll tease a story out of them. And and they're really lovely people. They're really great, and they're really into Fiverfest. So that's really worth doing if you know any, specifically if some have gone through a bit of a hard time through COVID, or they've changed business over COVID, or any of those sorts of little stories that that you think people will be interested in. So that's link is in the chat box now. So if you just want to forward that on. Oh, there you go. Sarah says Gemma from Grayling was lovely when I spoke to her last week. They really are lovely people. So yeah, just share that link with anybody. It's all self-explanatory, but we'll be posting about that as well publicly probably tomorrow, won't we, Katie? So to encourage people as well. So watch out for that and just point people at it. And obviously the better conversationalists they are, it's even better. So right, I'll do that. So we're going to introduce Julia. Julia's from Bimble. You've probably seen some of the posts that we've been sharing about with Bimble. We met a long time ago. Well, yeah, it's about 2 years ago, isn't it? Or something like that. I think so, yeah. We first discussed it because I just saw Bimble and I thought this is a wonderful thing. And then due to COVID, due to lack of time, we never done it. But Bimble's this really interesting thing of just almost like putting all your things together, all your favorite shops together. And we had this idea about maybe tagging Fiverfest onto that as well. So I'll hand over to Julia now, and then she can just show you how it works, really. Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks, Chris. Can you just let me share my screen so I can show what it is?
Do that.
Thank you.
And then make you a co-host.
Okay,
that
great.
Should let you know.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So that's fantastic. So basically, I'm a co-founder of Bimble, and Bimble is an app for listing and sharing great little places. Can you see Bimble on there?
Yep.
Is that coming out okay? Okay, great. So so the website is here. I've actually looked up Bimble Fiverr. If I just go up to the beginning and look at Bimble here. So this is a page that is about using Bimble to support local businesses. And it explains how to go about creating a list on Bimble of the places you want to support. So clearly in the context of Fiverfest, the idea would be to create a list of all the places that are participating in Fiverfest in your town. Bimble is only for bricks and mortar businesses, I'm afraid. So you can't do those online businesses that you were mentioning before, because it has to be a physical business. But any physical business that's in your town, you can list on Bimble. And as you list it, you can add in little information in here. So useful tips or what their offer is for Fiverfest, you can add in. And then you can share that really easily. Once you've created your list, you can send it to customers or other people. And people can then navigate to those places. So the point of this is it's going to create a map of all the places in your town that are involved. So if we now look at some examples, because some people have already done this. For example, here, Lowestoft, they've created a really nice Bimble list here, you can see. So here they've said, okay, this is for their Lowestoft Totally Locally activity and Fiverfest. They've got a little introduction that they've written here, and then they've listed all the businesses that are involved, and there's quite a few. And as you click into each of these businesses, you then can see that place on the map over here, and they've written on their little introduction about it. You've got the address and the telephone number, and you can see it all on there. And equally, if you go back into the main list, you can come into the map view here and see all the different places that they've listed all on the map. And so by clicking onto each of them, you can then explore them and see what they are. So, and we also have an app. So this works on a phone actually directly from web, but also as an app, which means that people can then on their phones be looking at this list and then navigate to those places. So that means that, you know, people can see exactly where to go, where these different places are. And on each of these, as they go through them, they'll be able to see which one they are, which one is over here. So, oh, that one's this one over here. So it's a completely interactive. It helps you to find those places and to explore them all. And then what's great is that, you know, once Fiverfest is over, you can then go back in, remove the offers that are no longer relevant, but keep a little description about the place. And this will then stay online as a way to support your local businesses and help them get discovered. Because Bimble is a platform that has 70,000 people that have signed up over the last year that are all interested in local independent businesses. That's the focus of Bimble. And so whilst those places are listed on here, you'll be getting an audience that will be discovering those places and finding them. So when you invest your time into doing this, it is then something that is valuable throughout the year. And when the next Fiverfest comes in, you can go back in and, you know, adjust it and add whatever new offers there might be. So it's an ongoing resource for you. And to get going, so when you go into that initial page that I was showing you here, it has a complete description of how to do it. But we also shared a document for that you have already received, I think, but I can send it again if you need it. But if you just look here, it says bimble.com/local-business, and that is going to be the landing page that will help you to understand how to do it. Has anyone got any questions? You're very welcome to contact me with any questions you do have. If you don't think of them now, it's just julia@bimble.com, and I'll, you know, answer you right away. So that's it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now.
And once you've created a list, you can just kind of copy that URL to the map or the list and use that as a list of offers quite easily.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. Let me just show that how that looks. So once I've got my list, if I'm on here, so in here, you'll see that apart from the Fiverfest ones, there's all sorts of lists and people have created all around the place. So for example, once you go into a list, for example, this is somebody's written a list of their hometown, then you can just share it by, so over here you can see this share button. If you click on that share button, you'll be able to see, you can share it direct to social if you want. You can also copy that link and put it wherever you want, or you can email it. So it's really easy to share with whoever you want.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's great. And I think there's about half a dozen towns have added Fiverfest lists. So
yes,
if you have a few more, get that trending.
Exactly.
And
yeah, and then when, you know, if you want to get inspired, you can just go into search here and you can search Fiverfest, and, you know, they'll come up the ones that have done it. So it's really important to put those hashtags in there so that they're easy to find and easy for you know, us all to see exactly what's happening in terms of Fiverfest in different towns. There we are.
Great. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you. We're very excited to be involved.
Thank you, Julia. Yeah, it's really great that you are. It's I think it's a really good addition to this, and it really works alongside it. So, and it's the bit that was missing as well. So it's great. Thank you.
I think if towns do struggle to do anything, it's list all their offers in an easy way, and also we have afterwards we'll send out a little questionnaire which says how did Firefest go for you, and we've used that in answers to previous ones to add bits and bobs to this one, like the bunting that everyone seems to go crazy for, and t-shirts. And that's a question: is it free? Bimble
Yes,
is totally
it's completely free. Yeah, it's completely free.
Even better.
Yes, we'll send out a post Firefest questionnaire, and if you could share that with your groups, your local groups, and the more feedback we get, the better we'll make the next ones. We were thinking about we might actually add, if people struggle to, because we give out the images of all the posters as well as the PDFs for print, and we like to encourage people to use the images to write their offers on, but not everyone knows how to do that. So if there's anything like that, we can suggest a particular app or program to use to add the offers individually or list them all, anything like that really. Keep an eye out for the survey afterwards.
So as well, it is fairly fluid because we never know what's going to happen. Last time we had BBC Breakfast and stuff, so we'll just, if you keep checking in, we'll let you know what's happening. It could be less this time. It could be more. I think there's going to be a lot of interest in it just because of the state of the high street. And I don't know how people are feeling, but I've just seen a few comments recently that high street's not feeling the same as it was. And food and drink seems to be good, but the rest of it seems to be a bit of a struggle, and that seems to be reflected across. So, things like this are important to just re-engage, and that's what it's about, is re-engaging. Someone mentioned about the t-shirts, by the way. We will have this online tomorrow. I've just been down with we've got a local printer who prints t-shirts on demand, so they've set us up a little shop. So we're using our local printer. It's not yours, I'm afraid, it's ours, but that's why we do it. So I'll just show you quick one. Okay, can you just let me share that, Simon? Is that right? Cheers.
There you go.
Simon's in control. So we've just got these t-shirts mocked up. So these will be available by this week. We've they're pretty fast at turnaround. Did you see that at all? Did that come up or not? No. Okay. Sorry. Let's try again. So there you go. We'll be having these. So we've got our local printers to do these. They do them on like a print to order. So it's really good, but it's really quick. So we'll be announcing that tomorrow, and you can just be able to go in and order whatever you want, and they'll pack them off to you. So that's nice. And we'll even have a few things. We'll have a few more things like that coming as well. And it's just it's really, really good for obviously for social media and stuff like that. But also, we'll make a couple of quid on each one, so that'll be quite nice for us as well. So it'll help towards the campaign. Is there any other questions?
Of course, that's good. Sarah, you said, Bolsover Yard, that you've been busy. I've been saying it, people have been waiting for the weather to get good again, and maybe because you've got an outdoor area, that's definitely helped.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Yeah.
Zoe from Yard of White asked about stats from Bimble. Do you get any stats of how many people have viewed things?
Yeah, so we can definitely get some stats. So right now it's easy for us to see how many people land on your page on the web. On the app, we still are, we're not very good at reading that yet. We're still putting in place all our reading systems for the app. So I haven't exactly got that yet, but we're building it in, and we're going to be releasing as well the possibility of like following towns, following places, and following Bimble lists. So we're going to be building in those functionalities over the coming couple of months. So yeah, I'll be able to give you some feedback. It will be a bit incomplete at this point. But just coming back to that sort of, you know, renewed interest. I mean, we've really felt it in Bimble, you know, with that people are just desperate to get back to, you know, supporting local businesses and wanting to see the high street get back on its feet. So I think that there's, you know, I do really feel we'll be riding a wave here, and people want to really want to support businesses.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just looking at a couple of questions. So Nan, representative Chamber of Commerce, hoping to get some oomph of interest by the weekend. I'm assuming you have, you've got the stuff that we've sent out. So there's a few things in there as well. So have a look at that again, and the press release. And there's some key messages that you will keep sharing. You get your text from social media, but if you're really struggling, just drop us a line and we'll send a few tips through. Oh, it's going mad now. How much the t-shirts? We'll have that. They'll be online. The prices will be online when they come up. We're just looking at different things. Costs more to print on black than it does on white, apparently. So there you go. Just let you know that one. So that's why we just haven't put them up to that tonight. So that's good. Have we been in touch with Holly Tucker's team? No, we haven't. It's interesting. I think we're just trying to keep this as it is, because it just starts to confuse, particularly when they've used a message that says if you spend £1 a day, it's worth X into your local economy. It starts to become a little bit, yeah. I'm not going to comment on that, but I'm actually going to be speaking to her hopefully in a few weeks anyway, on stuff. So yeah, it seems a little bit too close to this, and but I recognise that she's doing good stuff. So we'll just see how that goes. Potentially we've got an interview with her anyway for her podcast, so that's super good. Yeah, we're just trying to keep, because there's three of us, and this isn't our, as we keep saying over and over, this isn't our job. This is a hobby for us all. We can't spread ourselves too thin. So this is where we're at the moment. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be interesting, and I think that it's going to be different than last time. So bear with us. If anyone feels like we need another one of these midway through, please shout and we can do that. And yeah, Zoom's made that possible, hasn't it? So is there anything else then?
I'd just like to say to Sue, we've got no way of controlling cats getting in front of the camera. I'm sorry.
I was impressed with that. That was great.
Just keeping calm and steady.
Thanks, Sue.
And if anyone isn't in the Doers group, Facebook Doers group, apply to join that. We can add you in. There's a lot of helpful advice people give to each other. Like if a particular business says, oh, I don't know whether I could do any offers, people quite often ask what other towns offers people have done, like what's a good restaurant offer or a hairdresser offer. There's a lot of good advice in there and helpful tips as well. Yeah.
Basically anything that's interesting and good value, that's the way to do it. And the more interesting, the better. I do like your skateboard background, Zoe. They're real skateboards. Yeah, that looks good. I'm not sure whether it was a Zoom
this background. Is my shop.
Yeah, wasn't sure whether it was a really good Zoom background or it's just a really good shop.
No, it's real. It's cool in real life.
Yeah, fantastic. Julia, is it someone's just asked for your email address? It's julia@bimble.com, is it? Oh, sorry.
Yes, it is. I'll just type that in, shall I?
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, that's fantastic. So I think that's more or less it, because we've all got lives to get to, and my dinner, I can smell it coming up the stairs. So thank you everyone for joining us. And yeah, honestly, it's lovely to meet everyone at last properly, and put some faces to names that we've done it. So we'll just keep an eye out on everything, and if anyone does feel like we need to do this in a week's time, happy to do it. So thank you all for taking time out to do this, and good luck with everything, and we'll speak soon.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you for, thanks for coming. Bye. Bye.